Welcome to the Finding Joy in the Journey podcast. This is Sheridan Ripley. I'm a teacher, a life coach, an author of 6 books, and I am so excited to be with you here today to share a tip or a tool to help you find more joy in your journey. Give yourself a gift of a word for next year. I'm going to talk today a little bit about why you would pick a word for a year, what I've done in the past, and how it has been meaningful for me. The first year I picked a word was, I think, 2008, and the word was Zen. I remember thinking, I need Zen, but I have no idea how to have it. But if I pick this word, then hopefully I can find it by the end of the year. So I bought a book called 10 Zen Seconds. This is how I think it was 2008 because that's when I bought that book from Amazon. And I started meditating in 10-second increments, and it changed my life. I definitely had more Zen by the end of the year and have since grown my meditation practice and added other tools to help me have more peace in my life, despite exciting things that have happened in my family. And now I teach those tools to other people. So it's been really great. I'm glad I picked that word. It changed my life. I think I probably picked words each year after that, but I wouldn't remember them throughout the year. It wasn't as meaningful for some reason. Then in 2018, I realized that if I involved God in picking my word, it would be meaningful. And after picking a word with God that year, He inspired me to create an affirmation with my word that I hung up on my bathroom mirror and I repeated every day. And my word experience that year changed me forever too, because it helped me to then help other people pick out their words of the year. And I've loved sharing the easy steps and supporting them as they find their word. So today, I'd love to offer you a gift of a free class with 5 easy steps to find your word for next year. You're just going to go to sheridanripley.com/find word, and you'll sign up for my newsletter. I'll send a link out to my subscribers on December 26th, and then again the next week to the pre-recorded class. I highly suggest you join my Facebook page and my Instagram account, Power Up Your Prayers, to see additional videos. And also, I'll be happy to offer you help if you get stuck on any of the steps. And it's fun to join with the other women as we find our words together. So I'd love to share some of my words and how they have helped me through the years. My word for 2018 was ease. And I remember how that helped me that year. It was a year that I thought that my middle son, Carson, would go on a mission leaving 2019, but he decided last minute, he decided before he graduated high school that he would go that fall when he turned 18 because he was young in his class. And that was really hard for me because I wasn't planning on that. Like the Christmas before, I remember thinking, oh, I'm so glad Carson will be here next Christmas. And all of a sudden he wasn't going to be there. And so ease helped me to ease into the unexpected changes that came with that, along with other things. But that's the big thing that stands out for me for that year. For 2019, I had the word grow, and I was really worried about that word, but I use a tool that I teach in the Find Your Word class to help clear emotions and energy around whatever word you find and choose. So I remember using that and getting to the point, I was like, okay, grow. I can embrace that word, even though it sounds scary. Well, that year, we unexpectedly moved to a new state, and it definitely caused me to grow in ways that I wasn't planning on or really wanting, but definitely having that word helped me to embrace growing in a new, unexpected way. In 2020, my word is routines. And at first, I thought that was just a pretty boring word. But with all the craziness that 2020 entailed with being stuck at home for a good chunk of it, my routines actually helped me stay sane and helped me find purpose in being at home, and actually turned out to be a really, really helpful word for a really challenging year. 2021, I had the word ask. Again, I think I get nervous with almost all my words. Maybe not all, but a lot. But I don't know what I was worried about that. But what it did was it really helped me practice asking God for more help throughout the year and more guidance, which actually I did a lot in 2020. But I think I just did it a little bit more intentionally with that being my word. And I think I probably used it in other ways. But when I was pondering, that's what popped out. 2022 gave me two words that went together. And that was challenging. It made me nervous because the words were authentic healer. Now, I definitely have a gift of helping people heal, but I never really like to call myself a healer because I feel like people can heal themselves and Jesus helps them heal. And I just help guide them towards that. It makes me think of when I was a doula and I'd be nervous heading to a birth sometimes. And then I'd remember that there's been studies that show even if a birthing mom has a random woman sitting in their birth room knitting, like not even helping them, but just sitting in the room knitting, it creates a positive outcome in their birth. They will have a more positive birth than not having that woman sitting in the room. And me being a trained doula and going there with love to support them, obviously, no matter what, I would create a positive outcome in their birth. Again, it's not necessarily what I'm doing. I'm just there. I'm just being present. So I typed down some ways that I help heal. It shows up in different ways. If someone has a headache, I can rub their neck in a certain way and it helps their headache go away. So if people are stuck in grief is kind of a tricky thing because it comes and goes. But if it's been longer than a year and they're still really stuck in grief, I can help clear some energy around that and help them get unstuck from the grief. Of course, the sadness will come and go in waves. It just won't be so sticky. Another thing I'm really good at is if there's children who are really angry for kind of an unknown reason or even a known reason, I can help to clear energy around that. And then they're not as angry. That's actually what got me interested in doing this work was because my oldest son, Devin, when he was 7 or 8, suddenly got really angry for no known reason. And this work was what helped him to not be angry anymore. So, anyway, that's one of the gifts that I have. Anyway, there's lots of other ways, but it's something I love to do, but I feel more comfortable calling myself a coach or like an emotional clearing coach rather than a healer because, again, I feel like I'm not actually healing. I'm just giving tools and support so people can heal themselves. And one of the things that I can do is see images. So if I'm talking to somebody, I can close my eyes and see an image that's keeping someone stuck, share that image with them, listen to their thoughts and feelings about it, their feedback around it, and walk them through a short visualization, helping them to clear the emotion around that image, and then find a positive image. And we replace that old limiting one with a new positive one. And I always give them an affirmation to help them focus on that new energy. And then they're able to get unstuck and move forward. And it's just so exciting to see their progress after we work together. So it's something that I love what I do. I'm more of a guide, more of a doula. That's what I actually tried to call myself, like a life doula instead of a birth doula, but not everyone knows what a doula is. So it didn't really work calling myself that. But I decided to embrace the words authentic healer for 2022. And while I still don't call myself a healer, I do acknowledge that I have developed the gift of healing over the past 15 years. And I love to help others do that. So that was my word or words for 2022. 2023, my word was courageous. And I did not want this one. It really freaked me out because I don't feel like I'm very courageous. But that was my word. I cleared emotions from it and I embraced it and I made an affirmation. And it helped me so much when we were planning a 5-week trip to Europe with my family. And part of that trip, it was just going to be Bryson and I. And even though then we'd be with other people, I just was nervous. It was a long time to be away. And it took courage to go on a trip for that long. But I did a lot of work ahead of time to prepare for that trip, both physically and emotionally and mentally. And it ended up being amazing. There were some challenging times for sure, really only 2, but overall, it was really positive. It was awesome. And now I actually want to go on another 5-week trip in 2025. So I definitely have more courage now than I did in 2022. And I know that having that word helped me to develop courage. So these are some examples of how a word for the year can help you throughout the year. And I'll share my 2024 word in next week's podcast, or actually words. I had 3 words for 2024. I hope you allow yourself to have the gift of a word for next year and that you let it help you throughout the year. So please receive this gift of a free class. Just sign up for my newsletter, or if you're already on my newsletter, look for the email that I send out right after Christmas and follow the link so that you can take that class. And join the Facebook group if you want more support, or follow me on Instagram. I'll probably be doing stories about finding my word for next year. And then, of course, if you need extra help in finding a word, I offer a new service where the last 2 years I've actually been finding words for other people. And this has been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. And not only for me, but then for the people whose word I found for them. So here's someone's review. Mikkel said, "Have you ever thought about getting a word to focus on for a year? I usually try and find my own word as I focus on the upcoming year, but for 2023, I decided to let Sheridan intuitively find my word. I was surprised how fast and thorough she was. Not only did she find a word for me, but she cleared any resistance I had to the word and then made sure that I understood the way the word felt. She was patient enough to walk me through the meaning as I emailed her questions or explained my resistance. Sheridan is very talented and her intuitive gifts are very grounded. I'm very happy I tried this, and it will give me something clear to focus on for this coming year." So anyway, if you want to take the free class and find the word for yourself, that's great. If you want to give yourself the gift of having me find a word, that's great too. I'm going to be sending out a coupon code to my newsletter subscribers for that service. So sign up and enjoy. Thanks for listening today. I hope that if you enjoyed this podcast episode, you will share it with family or friends so that they too can find more joy in their journey. You can follow me at Instagram at Power Up Your Prayers, or you can find me on Facebook. I hope to connect with you there.